We're live.
We're
Awesome.
live.
Awesome. Hello, world. Hello, everybody. This is Dan Duran, your host of their new, brand spanking new podcast, first episode of Hello World. I hope you're doing fantastic today. I have the our CEO of BWire Technologies and Rhino Cybersecurity, Andrew Summerton, in here. Hello, Andrew. I hope you're doing fantastic. Also,
Hey, Dan, I'm doing fantastic. Hello, world. Really excited actually about today's podcast.
this
First
is
one,
like
and
my
I think
third
really
coffee,
needed.
so I'm super
You're
hyper
buzzing. You're buzzing.
today to get on with the show and talk about reconnecting, which is
Nice.
super important in the business world, right?
Absolutely.
So this is the first episode of Hello World, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be talking about in this podcast, right? So
Beautiful.
Gladstone, he's controlling the dials. Put the screen on.
Got lots of
Oh
hellos
man,
already. This is nice. I like it.
yes, perfect. Awesome. We have some really cool people joining us. Hello, Sean
Hey, Sean.
Davison.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
world.
world. Yes, yes. Sonny
Hey, guys.
Castillo.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
guys. The usual crew is joining us, and I hope you join us too. We're going to talk about reconnecting with your clients. And this is the first episode. So let me talk about Hello World and what we're going to be doing in this space every Thursday at 12 p.m. We're going to be talking about technology. We're going to be talking about web, mobile technology, design, code, technical stuff. So I'm going to get into the code on how to develop, how to design, all of that good stuff. And we are also going to talk about business and leadership.
Nice.
And usually, or actually every Friday, last Friday of the month, we're going to have G Money in the house. He's going to give us a monthly update on all the stuff that he's doing. And we're going to have guests as well as, of course, our beloved friend, Andrew Summerton. All right. All right, guys. So today we're going to be, there is Elizabeth
Elizabeth saying
Corbier.
hi.
She says hello. It's nice to see you, Elizabeth. Love the chat buttons. Perfect. Yes. We love them too. So keep those questions coming and we're going to be able to answer them as we go. So let's go do the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gladstone. Perfect. Awesome. So reconnecting. So before we talk about reconnection, let's talk about disconnection. Okay.
Right.
And we want to discuss kind of like how in the last years we, because of the isolation and all of the things that had happened in this world, we've been suffering a little bit of isolation, disconnecting with family, friends, work colleagues, and yourself. So, Andrew, what is your experience on this
Uh,
when it comes to Be Wired and your family and
you know
yourself?
it's so true. I mean, the last few years has been tough on so many people, and we've created this isolated bubble where we actually are disconnected, even though we're able to connect through social media and through FaceTime and through Meets and Google Chats and all the things, the tools of business. But again, it's still a disconnect. It's not real. It's not, you don't feel the true vibe of the individual. You don't feel the personal touch, the personal connection. The old days when you'd walk into an office, and you would basically see the
Exactly.
building, you smell the environment. In a manufacturer, it's a feeling, it's a
Yeah.
vibe. You lose that, you lose that connection, and we have so much in the last few years. It was funny. We were having a meeting the other day with actually yourself and a few of our team members, and everybody was talking about that disconnection. And the next few years, and certainly 2023, should be all about reconnection,
Yes.
re-engagement, and real face-to-face, and back to basics in a lot of ways. And I think it's critically important for all of us, for our own personal well-being, relationships, and as you said, personal, family, business, etc.
Yes.
So
This
important.
this year was the first time in 2 years that we actually had a New Year's party at my house with karaoke, and that
Nice.
we put on a really good event. Everybody showed up, my family, friends, and we had a blast because we needed that connection
For
and that
sure.
reconnection back. And it does happen before the this all the events that happened. I barely used Zoom.
Right.
I never did. I actually
Right.
went to my clients. I visited them in their offices, and I was way more personally connected to my clients. And then we've hired people in our company where we don't know them.
Not
Like personally. We actually see them on the Zoom chats every day, like from here up.
Yeah.
And but we don't know them personally. That's just crazy
You know
nowadays.
what's funny about that, Dan? We were actually one of our clients about I don't know, 8 months, a year ago, and one of our cybersecurity experts. We're sitting there doing some work for one of our customers, and he says to me, him and I actually met for the first time. He's been working with us for a few years, and he says, "Andrew, you're so much younger than I thought you were." And I said, "It's funny, the perception
Wow,
and
that's a
everything."
compliment,
And
man.
I thought that was a compliment, right? But
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
we had never met, and we've been
yeah.
working
Well,
together
my
for over
wife,
a year.
yeah, my wife works at the hospital, and they have to wear masks, right? So she was telling me, like when she was when she started working at the hospital, she didn't even know the people because they all wear a mask, right? So she couldn't tell. They would take off the mask, and then she wouldn't notice who it is, right? So
Right.
it was it was it's a fun experience. But anyways, let's get on with the show.
Absolutely.
um how to follow up with past clients and prospects, and your clients, and the ones that you're actually having business with, without annoying them. And that's the key, right? You don't want to come across as a salesperson. You don't want to come across as like as an annoyance on them. How do you
Wow.
do that? And that's the key. That's what we want to answer
For
today.
sure.
And guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, let's get on with the show and then just ask.
Yeah. I think this whole slide is really about authenticity. I think the reality. I think everybody is aching for that interaction. So there's always that fear of, I'm going in, I'm going to annoy my customer, or I shouldn't drop in and say hi. But I truly believe that people are anxious to have that come back to normal. And
Yes.
if you're going in, and I love your analogy. Don't go in selling anything. Times have changed. It's be authentic, be who you are, be your true self, and go in and truly care about saying hi to that person that you've been doing business with for X number of years. Truly
Zimba.
understand what it's so important.
Remember who you are.
There
Remember
you
that?
go. Nice analogy there, Dan. I love it.
Zimba. All right. So yeah, and you actually hit it right on the head. It's not like we've practiced any of this. You just coming on the show, and you don't know my presentation. You never seen it, but
No, that's
that's
right.
actually my first step.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Connect.
I took your I took your thunder. I apologize.
No, no, you're adding to it. No, you're not
Love
taking
it.
away. You're adding
Love
to
it.
it. So the thing is, you have to connect on a personal level, right? And what does that mean to you, Andrew? How do you connect on a personal level?
I think you find synergies that make sense to both parties. I say, not everybody is going to connect. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to, find perfect synergies that align. But I think, it's about being real. Like I said, being your authentic self. And if you do that, I think people are much more receptive, because nowadays people can read through the minutia and the crap of you trying to put a fake front on to sell a service to get an end goal. And if it's
Yeah.
not about that, I think really connecting on a personal level. We've all just gone through so much in the last 3 years. Everybody's looking at reconnecting on a personal
Yes.
level. What
Yeah.
that is really unique to every situation.
Absolutely. From my side, personally, I feel like a hobbit, right? So I'm
So
here
true.
stuck at home. I don't go out. I'm in the basement. Right? I have my office here in the basement, and I've cultivated and I created this habit of being here, sitting here on my computer screen, looking at it all day. So you have to break the habit. I
Yeah,
have to get up, get in the car, go visit my current clients, and say hi, shake hands, and visit them,
100%.
because the restrictions are over, man. You can actually go to anywhere, and pretty much everybody's working. It's back to the office. A lot of people do remote working, but you have to make the commitment to get out of your comfort zone that you have created over these 2 years,
For sure.
and do stuff. And this will also help you in your mind, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not about reconnecting with your clients as much as reconnecting with yourself and the things that you love doing, and
right.
your family and your friends, and getting out there. And I
Well, and you
think
get you
that's
get
that is the key.
and you get that spark when you do that. Like, there's the old saying is, positivity breeds positivity, negativity breeds negativity.
Amen,
You know,
brother. Absolutely.
if you're feeling like you said, like a hobbit, or if you're recluse, or you're behind your computer, and everybody says, I don't want to go outside of my comfort zone. Well, unfortunately, that's become everybody's comfort zone, where it's really not that comfortable all the time. To your point,
Yes,
go out and see people, go and shake hands, go talk to people, go see how they're doing, go see how their office has changed. Go talk to them about them only coming in 3 days a week, but at least they're there 3 days a week, and
exactly.
it's about that connection.
You got it. You got it. Okay, let's go number two.
Remember?
How about this one? This one is actually pretty ingenious. Offer new promos, new products, new services, and then go out to your clients and your current clients and say, hey, we have this offer right now, or we have this new product. We want to sell it to you. Let me go visit you. Let's make a Zoom call. Let's engage. Let's re-engage so I can show you what we have.
Well, and you know what? And it's funny because we talk about being authentic and not selling something on this process. And the thing is, we've all had to adapt and pivot in different directions to make ourselves either retain the business we have, grow the business we have, or even survive in most cases. And so by going out and getting out of your comfort zone and seeing your customers and saying hi to them, it's okay to share with them some new things that you guys are working on, because that's about formulating that relationship. You don't necessarily have to be selling, but you're educating and you're communicating and you're sharing the
Yes.
journey that we've all just gone through. And ultimately, because of you're strengthening that relationship, over time, you're going to gain new business from it as well, which is wonderful.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but offering new things. Look, for example, you have discounted products, right? Like you have a new product that you just came out, or a new service, or a new solution to solve their problems. You got to pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, we're brand new. I mean, we got this thing is brand new. We want to sell it to you, or we want to share with you at least what we have. Maybe you're interested and we can re-engage, right? There's nothing more boring and annoying than just sending an email and saying, hey, hi, I hope you're doing fine. And it's just like a
It's
cop out,
it's
right?
easy, it's
So
safe.
it's fake. You gotta make it more personal. Pick up the phone. I know nobody picks up the phone because you text everybody, but pick up the phone, go see
But
them in
I,
person. And you know
I
what?
think that no, I was going to say, I think it's because it's safe, Dan. I think it's because we've created this culture of behind the scenes. Oh, I've done my job. I sent an email. That's so not true.
Yeah.
That's so not true. It's a safe way to being proactive. In all fairness, you're not being proactive. You're just trying to cover the bases.
Yeah,
But
and the other excuses are, like my clients are really far away. Like I'm not gonna go visit them. They're just too far. I'm like, dude, if they're really depending on how much revenue those clients generate for you. I mean, if the client is generating $50,000 and up for you in a calendar year, for example, man, what is $300, $400 for a plane ticket plus a hotel stay at a half decent hotel, and go actually visit them, right? Like take that trip and say hi. And the best part is when you say, I just came here to see you guys, and it has nothing to do with sales. I just want to approach, and I just want to reconnect, take you
uh,
out for lunch or whatever, and say hi to you guys after 2 or 3 years. That is perfect.
and not all companies can do that. I respect that, especially with what we've just gone through for the last few years. Budgets are tight, the expenditures aren't there necessarily. But to Dan's point, there are companies that are very much worth the relationship building and the strengthening because of the longevity and what you've done with them. And so you have to sometimes find that ability to do that, or find it. If you can't do that, find another way to connect, which is equally as important. But yeah, if you can, absolutely go and see these, your customers face to face is key.
Yes.
Old school selling, old school relationship building, experience, interaction. Nothing replaces that.
Yes, and
Authenticity.
I have a section on myths and truths that I'm going to talk about in a bit, in a few slides. So let's go to the third one.
Okay.
The third one that I have is rebrand yourself, rebrand your company, rebrand your products. Just add more vitality to them. And what I mean rebranding is, like going through the process of creating a new style guide or a new website, like targeting social media that you haven't targeted before, or doing it differently, doing some sort of a different type of lead generation, creating content like blogs, like podcasts, like this podcast that we're doing
Podcast, yeah.
today, events. So trade shows, conferences, get out of that comfort
They're
zone and
happening. They're
start.
happening now. That's
They're
which is
happening
amazing.
everywhere, man. I
Let's
love
let's
that.
go. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think rebranding, and not just the company, but yourself. You can always acquire new habits, right? New good habits that are going to help you solidify relationships with the people around you, right?
Yeah.
So new habits like getting up really early in the morning, right? So that's a good habit to have. Eating healthier, exercising, and being more social, getting out and getting some fresh air. I think all of those things are reconnection points with yourself. You can't treat others well, and if you don't treat yourself well, that's the key. You gotta have to be in a good mental space to be able to go out and be natural, be yourself, and I think that's the key. So this message here is not just for rebranding your company or your product or your brand, it's rebranding
You would.
yourself as well.
Well, and it's so true. Like, I mean, you think about, we talk about being a hobbit, or we think about, being complacent, sitting behind our computers, sitting in your computer downstairs in your basements, etc. You got to get up and shake off that dust. We got to start fresh. It's a new year. It's time to think to myself. Think to yourself, how can I motivate myself, which motivates my team, which motivates my clients, that formulates relationships. And it's certainly not doing the same thing over and over again that you've been doing in the past. If it's not working, you need to revisit, refocus, readjust, and then move forward.
Exactly. Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, so let's go get on. So these are kind of like the things that the truths that I want to talk about. The old. Let's talk about the old. Relationships matter. That's the old mentality. What's the new mentality?
So
Relationships are everything. See that mentality, it's not just yeah, it mattered to have a relationship with your clients. No, now it's just a must. It's necessary to have a relationship with your clients, because you know what, 80% of the business that you get comes from 20% of your clients.
yeah,
Just remember that, especially when you're in B2B, in a B2B scenario, like it's always the usual clients. And what, I have a little doggy here, so if you hear anything like any yapping or anything like that, it's just my we just got a new puppy, so don't.
she's
She's around
beautiful.
here.
She's beautiful. If you see her, you should pick her up and show everybody. Little
Yeah,
sweetie.
there you go.
Yeah,
Say hi.
there she is. Hey, Penny.
This is Penny. Say hi to the camera there, Penny. There you go. Okay.
I love it. We
Go on
have a
now.
new we have
Okay.
we have a new puppy too, but she's upstairs.
All right, we got a question in here, so all right, put up the question. What Diego says, how can businesses foster a sense of community and belonging among their customers and employees? Do you want to answer that, Andrew?
I think it's just it's being, again, authentic with your outreach, with your communication, with your interaction. If you always have a hidden agenda that's going to benefit you, I don't think that you're going to basically foster that relationship. I think basically, if you build a culture within yourself and authenticity of within yourself, and you are, your true self, going out to customers and seeing people, and generally care about them on a business level and on a personal level, I think that is going to, really resonate with them. And to Dan's point, 80-20 rule, they're going to think twice if they're looking at a new vendor. They're going to think twice if they're unhappy with something that maybe you've done, but they're easier to get over it because they have a great relationship with them. So, and you're much more receptive when you walk in and you have that feel good with the
Yes, absolutely.
receptionist, or with the marketing team, or with the senior C-level executives. Oh my goodness, that goes a long way. So I just
Yeah,
think be
absolutely.
authentic and be proactive.
Yes,
Don't have an
absolutely.
agenda.
Absolutely. So strong, inclusive culture, having core values and living up to them. Yes, I love the word culture. I love the word community. It's You're creating a community. I mean, okay. So we spent 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping. Okay, we sleep
Crazy.
for one third.
It's crazy.
Then the other third, we're at work, right? From 8:30 to 5 or whatever times. The other eight, like one third is what we're working with other people, right? And then we have our time off and stuff like that. So it is very important to create those connections, that community in your company, and whoever you're working with, so you can make yourself a better life, right? So we have other comments in here from Boris. He asked, how can individuals support local businesses and contribute to community and recover post I'm not going to say that word because we're going to get dinged by YouTube, but before the isolation period. Yeah, so support local businesses is very important. Okay, so I know it's easy to just go to the big box stores, go to the and it's very sad because I've seen so many of our in our little community. I've seen so many businesses, crash
Sad. So sad.
and closed, right? Because um, of the isolation and the period that we had. Um, but like the big boys, right? The big boys. I'm talking about the Amazons and the Walmarts and all of those companies. They're making a killing because of it. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've seen it. Like they've grown so much because of it, the convenience of getting stuff delivered to you, all of that stuff. I know it's helping, but it's not helping your community. It's not helping your local businesses, right? So,
yeah, and
so
and that's and that's the thing. Our buying habits have changed dramatically because again, that complacency, sitting at home, easy to order on Amazon. Now, Amazon, in all fairness, has also increased a lot of businesses out there. And yes, they're a very successful business and made millions of dollars, but they've also helped small businesses get their products out there and delivered them, etc., etc. The big box stores and stuff that you go to, they're very easy. Obviously, they're there. They're monopolizing the businesses out there. But you're right, Dan, and Boris, to your concern, those small mom and pop shops, the ones that, the restaurants, it is important that we continue to strengthen and work with those individuals and share your life experiences with them. And what I mean that is going out for restaurants, going out and buying some clothes, going shoe shopping, all those different
yes,
things that matter. Definitely, I think it's very, it should be on everybody's radar. We should be aware of it, and we should be conscious of it, that we should try and do the best we can to help our small businesses.
absolutely, absolutely. How about this truth? Before it used to be knowing your customer. Right now it's knowing your segment, and let me explain this. Before it was about, okay, so my customer, their age range is like 30 to 45. They are typically male. They have this type of profession. They live in this type of areas. So it was all about the demographics of who your customer is. Well, that's old school. Now you need to know your segment. So for example, not every engineer is the same, that has the same personality, right? So it's all about the psychographics. It's all about what cohorts they belong to, and what are the feelings at that moment, and where they are in the buyer journey, right? So it's about knowing your segment, where you want to target, as opposed to the demographics on your customers. What do you think about that?
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's everything has changed. I mean, from your advertising, your reach, to the way you're targeting your audience and everything else. And as to your point, knowing your audience, everything has dramatically changed. And that's about pivoting. I mean, that's about pivoting that we've all done. I mean, if anything, advertising world has changed dramatically over the last 20 years, like more probably than any business. From basically one individual having a bigger reach than maybe every single mass media out there, which is kind of crazy when you think about that. But yeah, it's completely changed. So you have to change
Yes.
with it, and
Yeah.
you have to be
So
proactive with it.
absolutely. We have a question about mental health. I mean, we're not professionals, right? But we can give our own perspective and our own personal life on how do we are able to, come through when it comes to mental health, because it is a subject, and it's
For
affected
sure.
me as well. Like sometimes
Mhm.
I don't even feel like getting out of bed, man.
100%.
That's
100%.
how bad it is. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to work. I just want to stay in bed, and I just want to like be miserable. Like it is affected us so much to the core. You see that suicide rates are up and all of that stuff going on in the world. So how can businesses prioritize and invest employees' well-being and mental health to promote a
Promote.
positive and connected work environment?
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that, or how what my thoughts are on it? Glad, Dan, or do you want to?
Well, I
Do you
can
want
give
to?
you my thoughts.
Sure.
Like
Well,
you
let's do
have
yours.
to,
And
yeah,
then I'll jump in if you want.
yeah, you have to have some sort of wellness program, right? You need to so for example, in some of the companies, they have an app that they give it to the employees, which is it's called Calm, right? And it helps you meditate and focus and do a lot of stuff using using your mobile, which is pretty good. I think really good subsidy. Some other companies, what they do is they give out gym memberships, time off. And some other companies like ourselves, for example, Fridays we only work half days, so they can take off the rest of the Friday. We're in a schedule where we only work 8:30 to 5 and not afterwards, unless there's of course an emergency. Disconnect from your devices. All of those things actually help our employees become better, and be able to get out of that mentality, right? What else would you say, Andrew?
I think one of the most important things, again, it really comes back down to the reconnection. This whole topic. It's about understanding each and every person. Every single person is on their own journey, and if you're a leader in an organization, a manager, a team leader, what have you, is not, you never manage down. You always manage your team up. You always share thoughts. You feel everybody needs to feel like they have a voice and they're being heard. And if you just talk at your people or at your team and you don't truly appreciate them, and I truly mean that, not just saying it. If you don't truly appreciate them, it comes across. And I think when an individual feels needed, feels that they're important, that they're being heard, and they're a part of an organization that cares, I think that goes a long way. And then again, every single person has their own journey. So sometimes situations have to, that's on the masses when I'm talking about, that leadership and building that culture. But every individual is on a different path. And sometimes you just need to
Yes,
have real conversations and really understand
abs-
everybody's position.
absolutely. Okay, let's go. We only have 3 minutes left, so let's get on with the show. I have a few more truths, right? So this one: before you used to compete with companies, now you're competing with experiences. So it's all about experiences nowadays. It's not just companies that you're competing with, it's who has the best experience at something on what they do. We're competing with with who has the best experience. Basically, that's the kind of like the new truth nowadays. It used to be companies, now it's experiences, right?
Right. Yeah. It's
How about
it's
this
it's
one? Go ahead.
Oh no, no, I think it's sorry, customers hope, customers X. I think it's you're right. I think it's not just about getting the business. It's about that collaboration with that client and the experience they get by working with you. And then if they have a great experience, that's going to formulate that strong relationship, and formulate that strong bond. So I think it is. I think it's the experience. It's not just the service; it's the whole package. And the
Yes.
experience of them working with you is critical.
Exactly. So, how about this one? So, customers hope they get the right product or the right service. That's the old mentality. They hope they do. Now, the new
Yes.
mentality is customers expect the right product and the right service. So, their expectations have grown exponentially just because of the amount of technology that we have out there, the amount of different companies, different services, different solutions that they do similar things. Now customer expectations are through the roof, and you need to be able to fulfill those expectations. It's not about hoping, it's about expecting now.
Yeah, yeah, and delivering what they expect, exactly.
Yes. If we go over a little bit, so this show is 30 minutes, but if we go a few minutes over, that's okay. We can deal with that. If you have any questions, we can put them on screen as well.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the next one. Courting clients or in customers is like dating. That's the old truth. Now the new truth is courting is like online dating. Courting your clients is like online dating. So this has changed a little bit because back in the days you used to say, yeah, courting your clients is like dating, right? You have to go see them, you have to bring them flowers, whatever it is, right? Like to be able to create that relationship and maintain that relationship. Now, if you think about the apps, right? Like let's say Tinder, for example, is like swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right. So it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You have 100 gazillion apps that you can scroll through. You have 100 gazillion websites that you can go to. You have AI, different AIs. You have so many things, and it's just like the attention span is so short that now it feels like you are
Online
online
dating.
dating with your clients.
It's true, and I think that kind of comes full circle to this whole show today is reconnecting, because it's exactly that. I mean, it's so easy to swipe right or swipe left or whatever that works. Um, but versus having those reconnections, those relationships, really going in and seeing people and formulating and solidifying, and again, back to that 20% of your customers represent 80% of your business. If you don't have that connection and that relationship and that authenticity, they're going to swipe right when a new option comes their way. And guess what? No
Yes.
longer are you their customer. Um,
Yes.
it's
So
absolutely.
yeah, and the first few minutes, the first few seconds is so important to be able to get it right, get the message right, and that feeling of connection with your clients. Yeah, it is different, right? It's different from the old school. So how
So
about
different.
this one here? So I have two more. So this is the uh, I have one more after this. So the old mentality is everything about the marketing strategy. So how are you going to be able to achieve everything, right? When you're getting out there into the market. The new mentality is all about the customer journey. And I don't know if you can hear my
Yeah, it's
doggy.
okay. It's cute. It's okay. She's whimpering. She wants to see Daddy. It's all good. Bring her on. She's our guest today.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Okay, so what do you think about this one, Andrew?
It's true, because every single customer, it's the journey, right? So marketing strategy used to basically be, a beginning, a middle, and end to hopefully get, business in your funnel, hopefully educate them, hopefully find them where they are. But now it really is, there's a customer journey, and the customer journey has, there's so much information to a customer. They're typically ready to buy when they're ready to buy. They're typically ready because they've done so much homework, like for a car and things like that. It's not the same as it was 20 years ago. So absolutely, the customer's buying habits and their buying journey has changed dramatically over the years. And that has to come across in your messaging, on your website, on your app, in communication, and how you're talking to people, etc. It definitely has changed.
Yes, absolutely. And the last one that I have here, and sorry, I'm holding my doggy here, and she's
She's
biting on me.
she's eating. Oh, she's eating your little neck piece. Your
Okay, the last one that I have here is before it used to be about building great products and services. Nowadays is creating value. So creating or delivering value to our client.
you know what? I believe it's still all of it. I think value is important. There's no question, but I think delivering a good quality product in a timely fashion, expectations are met, and they're also getting value, because I mean value means so much, right? It's not what you get. It's not value doesn't necessarily mean cheap. Value doesn't mean necessarily discounted. Value means what you're paying for has value. And that's really important. People shouldn't be thinking, oh, I'm going to go buy this service because it's 20% less than this service. Well, that could be 40% better deliverable. Even though you pay 20% more, you're getting that much more service. So it really, I think it still goes hand in hand. I think you still need all of the elements to be successful and to really have
Yeah, but
great
typically,
deliverables.
typically, what companies do, they overbuild their products and services. They add too many features. And then at the end of the day, maybe that's not what and they spend a lot of
Oh,
money
I
doing
understand
it,
what you're saying.
especially
Yeah,
when
I
you're
understand. Yeah.
like a shoe strap for money, and that's not really what your clients are looking for, right?
Yeah,
So
as long as you're hearing your clients and you're delivering the value that they're looking for, and to your point, a great point, Dan, not over selling or over adding to charge more, totally makes sense.
all right, guys. I hope you have fun. This is it for today, and yeah, I hope to see you next Thursday. This is Hello World from Bewire Technologies. Don't forget to visit bewire.ca and connect with us and subscribe. Next show, it will be fantastic. I think next show we'll be going to be talking about web design and how to create new designs for your websites and your applications. In 2023. Have a
Nice.
great, fantastic
Hello,
day.
world. Bye, world. Thanks,
Bye,
Dan. See you,
world.
Penny. Bye, Penny.